There is no such thing as weather modification, manipulation, or control. And even if there was, you could trust the government with that power, right? I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
At this hour, we are watching this. The Bahamas are being devastated by their strongest storm ever.
Devastated by their strongest storm ever.
Hurricane Dorian has been pummeling the islands for more than 24 hours now. It's packing Category 4 winds and storm surges over 20 feet in some places. But Dorian's movement is slow as it just sits over the Bahamas, you can see from these images. We know that residents are being hit over and over again.
The initial reports from Abaco is that the devastation is unprecedented and extensive.
Unprecedented and extensive.
Devastated by their strongest storm ever.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
Weather control.
We shall propose, finally, a global systems of communication satellites linking the whole world in telegraph and telephone and radio and television. The day need not be far away when such a system will televise the proceedings of this body to every corner of the world. We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
And eventually in weather control.
What if you could fire a laser at the sky and make it rain? Oh, that sounds more interesting. Dave Malkoff explains.
Just another stormy, wet afternoon in central Florida. But what if you could pick up all this rain and move it where it's needed? Texas or California? What if a laser could start the rain?
So you can almost use it to set it off.
Matt Mills got into lasers as a kid.
It's just innately cool.
Now he's part of a team of scientists and military backers on the cutting edge of a new technology, making lasers powerful enough to reach up here into the sky where a thunderstorm is just about to start. In the near future, a push-button storm starter could be a real thing.
We actually had to run for our lives when the ice came across. And we had a good Samaritan that saved about 50 people coming out of Burford Town, because my boyfriend and him, they like pushed lampposts out of the way literally to get people out. And we left one of our neighbors, we lost our neighbor. We left him there, and he was there from Sunday when we reported him there, and he's still there. He's still there, yeah. Yeah. The body's still there, swollen and everything.
Just imagining this situation. If there was a rain cloud that was going to pass over an area of drought and not rain, you could, theoretically induce the rain and get the rain where it's needed.
That storm starter isn't the laser beam itself, but rather a popping energy that comes off of much higher power beams than this one. The problem is those pops have always had trouble getting into the sky. Now Matt has discovered a way to get the laser to pop all the way in the clouds. In theory, that's what starts a storm.
You're on an island where you don't know what's going on. You're not getting any sense of communication. Everybody's saying this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. It doesn't make no sense. We really, really, really need to get off this island. It's the stench of that we walk through to get to the boat. The stench of that is so bad.
We created a cloud of our own behind Matt's lab. A few months ago, Matt's colleagues in Arizona got this working experimentally. The next step is to get it to work in the sky.
And eventually in weather control.
A lot of people are saying, oh, they're evacuating, but when we go there, it's, oh, you go here first, go to the airport. You go to the airport, it's 120 people, and nobody's giving you any idea of how to get on the planes. Then they say, oh, a boat is coming. You go to the boat, to the dock to find out if a boat is coming, and they say, no, we're not carrying cargo, so we don't know what's going on. We just want to know how to get out of here.
We've been talking about Dorian and Dorian's impact on the Bahamas. We're going to try and put some things into perspective here. We're going to put some timestamps on really the past maybe 36 hours or so on the radar as we kind of track the turn and track the path of Dorian. So at 1 p.m. we started seeing on Sunday. 1 p.m. on Sunday, we started seeing some wobbles with the hurricane as it was moving west. And then as we hit 10 p.m. yesterday, 10 p.m. Sunday, the storm started slowing down, and then it was essentially moving at 1 mile an hour. 1 mile an hour across the Bahamas until we go to now. So from Sunday, 10 p.m., the storm crawling 1 mile an hour. It's essentially stationary for the majority of our Monday to 10 p.m. on Monday. That distance was 30 miles. So think of the Category 5, Category 4 storm moving 30 miles in 24 hours. For perspective, Duval County is about 40 miles wide from east to west. So the storm sat for essentially less than the width of Duval County, for perspective.
From last night, we've been sleeping outside right there on the floor. In the floor, on the grass. Same thing again tonight. I only have these clothes. Where should I go? I don't have nowhere to go. I ain't got nobody else. My mommy dead, my brother, my cousin.
What happened to your family?
They dead in the water. The body right there by the church, they just moved my brother. I went there, I just see mommy's still in the floor. That's her passport, my mommy passport. The whole bag, I just went back, I find it in the floor. My brother, he dead in the water in the hurricane Sunday morning.
We physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning. We realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games.
I ain't got nobody else. My mommy dead, my brother, my cousin.
Wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes. All of them could be subject to weather modification.
And even hurricanes.
The tourists don't have to come here because when they come here, they come spending where the money they come spend. They come spend it for us to build things here. What they do with it? What they build with it? If something happened, you know, if that was in the States or Haiti, you know, so much things, so much help. We don't have no help here.
Particles in the air are rubbing together, forming static electricity, and the conditions are now right, and they just need to be triggered now. Does this concern you that you may be messing with Mother Nature and doing something that you don't completely understand up here in the cloud? I mean, I suppose that's always a danger, but we're not even near to the case where it could be dangerous yet, so not too much now. It's almost like an on-off switch for a thunderstorm. That's the idea behind it.
Right now, I ain't get no help. I ain't get no help. Nobody come help nobody. Nobody come help nobody. I don't know where my children is. No phone, no nothing.
You don't know where your children are?
No, my friend is a Freeport because I come to work there.
Oh, okay.
You understand? Nobody come to nothing. They said nothing to nobody. Today make it 6 days.
Absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. And it could change a lot of things, like these areas of drought that we're watching in the West, if it actually worked.
If it actually worked.
Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong.
What the hell did you just say? Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong.
Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now,
Now.
we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control. But nothing conclusive.
Yeah, that's a dead body right here. In 6 days, and nobody reached there.
It is very, very, very hard. You could imagine we even can't, like, no more go to no gas station. We don't have no stores, and thank God this storm for us to get some food. You understand?
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
Dead people right there by the church right there in the back there. Nobody can move them. So you see how high that is? In the last door, the water start go inside. When the last door, we hold the door and fight with when the rain blowing and things like that, we hold the door. I think 3 or 4 people was died because the whole thing got over them. You see? They must be just moving them body today. You see one there?
It's me, I lose everything, but I thank God for life.
If you guys enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. Also, check out over 100 hard-hitting designs in the shirt store, and if you want to support more content, hit me up on Patreon or PayPal. All those links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.